My son-in-law looked at me with contempt and said, "Arthur is not on your level, period." My daughter added, "Dad, we need a break from you. You lived your whole life as a nobody." They invited everyone. My in-laws, my daughter's in-laws, even a cousin they had not seen in years. But they left me out. They booked 8 rooms at the Ocean View Hotel. What they did not know was that I already owned that hotel. If this story gives you chills, subscribe now to William's Revenge Stories. Here we have real stories that will make you question everything. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from. My name is Arthur. I am 78 years old, and right now I am standing in front of the window of the presidential suite at the Ocean View Hotel, looking at the parking lot. 3 black SUVs just arrived. I recognize the first one. It belongs to my son-in-law. The other 2 must belong to his family. To my family, too, I suppose. Although they no longer consider me part of anything, I see them all getting out. Expensive suitcases, designer clothes, laughter. My daughter Sarah is the first to get out. She is wearing big sunglasses. She looks happy. She has not looked happy to see me in months. But now she does, now that I am not there. 2 weeks ago, everyone was sitting in the living room of my house. My modest 2-bedroom house, with old furniture that Grace, my wife, chose 30 years ago. Michael, my son-in-law, was standing in the middle of the room as if it were his. He had a tablet in his hand. "Well, family," he said with that smile that always made me suspicious, "I booked 8 rooms at the resort, 5 nights, all paid for." Everyone's eyes lit up, except mine. I knew what was coming. "David, Linda, you are going. Robert, Susan, you too. And obviously Sarah, Lucy, and me." Lucy, my 12-year-old granddaughter, was the only one who asked the obvious. "What about Grandpa?" Michael did not even look at her. He just smiled wider. "Lucy, this is for people who made something of their lives. Your grandfather, well, he just existed." The words fell like stones. No one said anything. My daughter Sarah, my own blood, just lowered her head. And then she spoke. "Dad, understand. We need space. You lived your whole life as a mediocrity. Do not ruin this too." I felt my mouth go dry. The air became heavy, but I said nothing. I just smiled. "It is okay. Enjoy yourselves." Everyone thought I had given up, that I had finally accepted my place, the useless old man who was good for nothing. Lucy tried to protest again, but Michael silenced her with a look. "Your grandfather is fine. Do not worry. Besides, there is not enough money for everyone." That was a lie. It was always a lie, but no one questioned it. David, Michael's father, a successful 60-year-old lawyer, nodded with approval. It is for the best. Sometimes you have to leave the dead weight behind. Robert and Susan, Sarah's in-laws, laughed softly. Only Lucy cried. And I smiled, because I already knew exactly where they were going. Now I am here, in the presidential suite. The same suite Michael asked for and could not get because it was occupied. Occupied by me. I take my phone. I write a message to Rebecca, the hotel manager. They arrived. The show begins. She replies immediately. "Ready, Arthur. Everything is prepared." Rebecca has been working with me for 30 years, since we opened the first hotel in the chain. She knows everything. She knows who I am. She knows what I am about to do, and she is on my side. I put on the light suit I left hanging this morning, white shirt, leather shoes. I look in the mirror. I see an old man, tired, but not defeated, never defeated. I think of Grace, my wife, the woman who built all this with me, the woman who died a year ago in a surgery that should have been simple. I remember her last words, when she held my hand in the hospital, with those eyes full of fear but also strength. "Do it when it's necessary, Arthur, when it is necessary." I did not understand then. Now I do. Grace and I decided to live in silence, without luxury, without showing off, We had an agreement. Our children would not know about our fortune until they were mature, until they understood the value of things, the value of people. If they know we have money, Grace told me while cooking in our small kitchen, they will grow up believing everything is easy, that people do not matter, that only what you have matters. I agreed. I always agreed. But Grace was afraid of something else, of someone else, of Sarah. Sarah is like my father, Grace once told me with sadness in her eyes. Ambitious, cold. She steps on whoever she has to in order to climb. I did not want to believe it. She was my daughter, my little girl. But Grace was right. She was always right. When Sarah was 20, she stopped talking to her cousin because she was not on her level. When she convinced her brother Thomas not to study at a state university because it was embarrassing. When she refused to work in the family business because she did not want to get her hands dirty. I always believed she would mature. That time would change her. But time only made her worse. I take a deep breath. I look out the window again. They are entering the lobby. I see Michael walking like he owns the place. I see Sarah laughing at something he said. I see Lucy walking behind everyone with her head down. I think of my son Thomas, the only one who never turned his back on me, but he was not invited either. He does not fit in the budget, Michael said. A lie. Thomas does not fit in his plans. Thomas defends me. Thomas knows I'm not a mediocrity. That is why he is not here. I pick up the gold badge on the table. It says Owner Arthur. I put it on my chest. I feel the weight, not of the medal, of the moment. Grace looks at me from the photo I have on the nightstand. She smiles. That smile she always gave me when she knew I was doing the right thing. Today is the day, my love, I say softly. Today they will know who I am, who we were, and why we decided to be invisible. I head to the door. I look down. I breathe. And I go out. I do not go to the lobby yet. First I observe. I have always been good at observing. 35 years building hotels taught me something. People reveal who they are when they think no one important is watching. And now, from the second-floor hallway, hidden behind a column, I watch how my family treats the staff, how Michael speaks, how Sarah nods, how they all laugh at things that should not be funny. And I wait, because the moment has not arrived yet. But it is close, very close. Michael enters the lobby as if he were arriving at his own palace. He wears a white linen shirt, beige pants, expensive sunglasses. David, his father, walks beside him. 60 years old, impeccable suit, that posture of a lawyer who never loses a case. Behind comes Linda, Michael's mother, elegant but quiet. Then Robert and Susan, the in-laws, and finally, Sarah with Lucy. My granddaughter walks as if she wants to disappear. Emily, the receptionist, a 23-year-old girl with big eyes and a professional smile, welcomes them. Welcome to the Ocean View Hotel. Name on the reservation. Michael does not look at her. He just throws his ID on the counter. Miller, Michael Miller. 8 rooms, premium. Emily checks the computer. Her fingers move fast. Yes, sir. Everything is confirmed. Rooms with ocean view. Michael interrupts her. I want them to be the best. Understood? Emily keeps smiling, although I see her fingers tense on the keyboard. Of course, sir. The best available rooms are assigned. Michael laughs. A dry sound, contemptuous. Available? I paid. I want the best in the hotel. I do not care if someone else has them. Move them. David nods. My son is right. For the price we are paying, we expect excellence. Sarah approaches the counter. She wears a white dress. Perfect makeup. That air of superiority she learned from Michael. Besides, this lobby is a bit small, isn't it? For a hotel of this category. Robert lets out a laugh. I noticed that too. Looks like a 3-star hotel. Susan shushes him, but she smiles too. Emily takes a deep breath. Ma'am, I assure you, our facilities are top quality. Ocean View is recognized in the entire region. Michael hits the counter with the palm of his hand. Not hard, but enough for everyone to turn around. I do not care what the reviews say. I want to speak to the manager. Now. Linda, Michael's mother, sits in one of the lobby armchairs. She looks uncomfortable. She always looks uncomfortable when her son makes these scenes, but she never says anything. She never stops him. Lucy sits next to her. My granddaughter looks at her mom, looks at Michael, and then looks at her hands. She is ashamed. I see it in how she hunches her shoulders, in how she bites her lower lip. Emily picks up the phone. I will call the manager, sir. One moment, please. Michael crosses his arms. It better be fast. David puts a hand on his son's shoulder. Relax, Michael. You saw what these places are like. You always have to demand. I watch everything from the second floor. I am leaning on the railing in casual clothes, a denim shirt, comfortable pants, a cap. No one recognizes me. No one sees me. I'm just another guest. Just another old man. I feel rage, but also something colder, more calculated, because this is not the first time Michael treats someone like this. I remember when he came to my house 6 months ago, after Grace's funeral. He sat in my living room and told me, Arthur, it is time you sell this house. It is no use to you. Sarah and I can help you find something more. Appropriate. Appropriate. That word. As if I did not deserve the place where I had lived 30 years. The elevator doors open. Rebecca comes out. 55 years old, elegant, short hair, black suit, heels clicking firmly against the marble floor. Rebecca does not walk. Rebecca dominates every space she enters. She glances at me as she passes, just for a second. Enough for me to know that everything is under control. She reaches the counter. Good afternoon. I am Rebecca, general manager of the hotel. How can I help you, Mr. Miller? Michael sizes her up. Finally, someone with authority. I need you to improve the service. This girl does not know what she is doing. Emily looks down. I see her clench her fists under the counter. Rebecca stays calm, that calm that only experience gives. Mr. Miller, Emily is one of our best receptionists, but tell me what exactly you need. Michael points to the rooms. I want the best suites, with ocean view, all of them. I do not care who has them right now. I want them now. Rebecca smiles, a small smile. Professional. But I see what Michael does not see. I see the steel behind that smile. Sir, I am afraid the presidential suite is occupied. It is the best in the hotel, but your rooms are excellent. They have... Michael interrupts her again. I do not care. I want that suite. I offer double, triple if necessary. David approaches. My son is used to the best. I understand you have your policies, but I am sure everything has a price. Rebecca looks at me again. Just a second. I shake my head. Very slowly. She understands. I'm sorry, gentlemen. The guest in the presidential suite is permanent. It is not available under any circumstance. Michael laughs. Loudly. Permanent? Who is it? The owner? Rebecca holds his gaze. Someone very important to this hotel, Mr. Miller. Very important. Sarah approaches. Michael, leave it alone. The rooms they gave us are fine. But Michael ignores her, as always. No, Sarah. We paid for the best, and we are going to have the best. He turns to Rebecca. Listen, I do not know who that important guest is, but I am important too. I am a businessman. My father is a corporate lawyer. We have connections. If this hotel is not up to par, believe me, everyone will know. David nods. My son is right. Bad reviews can sink a business. Rebecca does not flinch. Do not worry, Mr. Miller. Here everyone receives exactly what they deserve. There is something in that phrase, something that makes Michael stop, something that makes David frown, but neither of them says anything. Rebecca hands the keys to Emily. Emily, please escort the guests to their rooms. 8th floor, the best available, as promised. Emily nods, takes the key cards. Her voice trembles a little. Please follow me. Michael grabs his suitcase. This is not over. I want a special dinner tonight in the best restaurant of the hotel. And the service better be perfect. Rebecca just nods. Of course, sir. Perfect. Just as you deserve. Everyone gets into the elevator. Lucy is the last one. Before entering, she turns around. She sees me. I am still on the second floor, leaning on the railing. Our eyes meet. She opens her mouth as if she were going to say something, but Sarah pulls her arm. Lucy, let's go. My granddaughter enters the elevator. The doors close. Rebecca stays in the lobby. She walks towards the stairs. She comes up. She reaches where I am. She says nothing. She just hands me an envelope. I open it. They are photos. Photos of Michael in meetings with people I do not know, with papers on the table. Rebecca speaks softly. Mark arrived this morning. He has everything ready. I close the envelope. I nod. Thank you, Rebecca. She smiles. You're welcome, boss. An hour later, Michael is touring the hotel as if he were a health inspector. He has a notebook in his hand. David walks beside him, nodding at every comment. They go through the pool area. Michael stops, looks around, shakes his head. This is small. For 8 premium rooms, I expected something more. Impressive. David bends down, puts his hand in the water. It is cold, Michael. Definitely cold. Michael writes something in his notebook. A couple of guests look at them uncomfortably. Sarah is sitting on a lounge chair, checking her phone. She looks up. Michael, do not exaggerate. It is fine. He does not even look at her. Sarah, you do not know about hotels. I do, and this is not up to standard. They walk to the gym area. Michael enters, checks the machines, touches the weights, inspects the towels. How many machines do they have? 8? 9? A hotel of this category should have at least 20. David nods. My son is very detailed. He knows what quality is. Michael takes a towel, smells it, makes a face. These towels are not washed well. They smell like mildew. A young employee who is cleaning approaches nervously. Sir, the towels are changed 3 times a day. If you like, I can bring you. Michael interrupts him. I do not care what you can do. I care about what you should have already done. The boy looks down, apologizes, leaves quickly. They arrive at the restaurant. It is mid-afternoon. Hardly any people. George, a 68-year-old waiter with completely white hair and hands shaking from age, welcomes them with a smile. Good afternoon, folks. Would you like something to drink? Michael sits down without looking at him. 2 strong coffees, and make sure they are hot. David sits too. And bring us the dinner menu. We want to see what you offer. George nods, writes in his old notebook. I know him. George has been working in my hotels since the beginning. He was one of the first employees. I trained him myself. I taught him that service is not servitude, that serving someone is not being less than anyone. But Michael does not see it that way. Michael never saw it that way. George comes back with 2 cups of coffee, places them carefully in front of Michael and David. Michael takes the cup, brings it to his lips, takes a sip. Immediately he drops it on the saucer, loudly. The sound echoes in the restaurant. It is lukewarm. Did you bring me lukewarm coffee? George goes pale. Sir, I just made it. Let me bring you... Michael interrupts him. No, I want to speak to your supervisor. This is unacceptable. Sarah, who just arrived at the restaurant, joins in. In real hotels, this would not happen, she laughs, as if it were a joke. George lowers his head. My apologies. Right now, I'm sitting at a table at the back of the restaurant. I'm wearing dark glasses, a cap, a denim shirt, an open newspaper in front of me, but I am not reading. I observe. I watch how Michael humiliates George. I watch how Sarah laughs. I watch how David nods with approval. My son is right. The service must be flawless. George walks away towards the kitchen. As he passes near my table, our eyes meet. He recognizes me. He opens his eyes. Almost says something. Almost says, Mr. Arthur, but I raise a finger. Very slowly. Silence. Not yet. George understands. Nods. Keeps walking. But I see how he wipes his eyes with the back of his hand, and I feel the rage rising in my throat. Michael takes the menu George left, looks through it with contempt. Look at this, Dad. Lobster at market price. imported salmon, French wine, and I bet everything is mediocre. David laughs. That is why you always have to investigate first. These small boutique hotels think they're something special, but they do not have the level. Sarah approaches, sits with them, checks the menu too. The design is pretty, but the service, you saw. Michael closes the menu abruptly. I'm going to leave a review when we leave. An honest review. So people know what they are going to find here. David nods. It is your duty, son. People need to know the truth. I keep observing. I keep taking mental notes. Of every word, of every gesture, of every humiliation. I think of how many times Michael has done this before. How many times he has treated people badly who are just doing their job. I remember when Lucy turned 10. We had a party at my house. Nothing big. Just the family. Michael arrived late. He complained about the food Grace cooked. This looks like cafeteria food, Sarah. Your mom should have hired a service. Grace heard. She said nothing. But I saw her hands shaking when she served the cake. Michael never apologized. He never does. David stands up. I'm going to check the rooms. I want to see if at least that is right. Michael stands up too. Good idea. And while we are at it, let's see what other areas of this place are neglected. They leave. Sarah stays a moment longer, finishes her water, looks around. Her eyes pass where I am, but she does not see me. She only sees an old man in a cap reading the newspaper. Nothing important, nothing worth noticing. She gets up, leaves. I lower the newspaper. I breathe deeply. George appears again, cleans the table where they were, picks up the cups. The one Michael dropped is broken. George picks it up carefully. A piece cuts his finger. It bleeds. He just wipes it with a napkin, as if it were nothing. I get up. I walk towards him. George. He turns around, surprised. Mr. Arthur, you shouldn't. I take his hand. I see the cut. Go get that treated. He shakes his head. It is nothing, Mr. Arthur. I have had worse. I squeeze his shoulder. I know, old friend. I know. But tomorrow all this ends. George looks at me with wet eyes. Are you really going to do it? I nod. Really? He smiles. A sad but relieved smile. Thank you, Mr. Arthur, for everything. He leaves. I stay there standing, looking at the broken cup on the tray, thinking about how many more things are broken and how I'm going to fix them. I go up to my suite. Rebecca is waiting for me in the hallway. How did it go? I enter. She follows me. I sit on the sofa. Worse than I thought. Rebecca sits in front of me. Mark is on his way. He is bringing the final documents. I nod. And the other thing? She takes out her tablet, shows it to me. They are emails, messages, conversations between Michael and someone else. Someone named Oliver. I read the messages. Plans to mortgage properties, to take out loans in Sarah's name, to liquidate unnecessary assets. My stomach tightens. Does Sarah know about this? Rebecca shakes her head. I do not think so. Michael makes her sign things without explaining. I close my eyes. I think of my daughter, of how I raised her, of how Grace loved her, and of how she chose this. Chose a man who uses her, who manipulates her, who despises me. But tomorrow she is going to see. She is going to see everything. Rebecca stands up. Rest, Arthur. Tomorrow is going to be a long day. She leaves. I stay sitting, looking out the window, watching the sea, thinking of Grace. I wish you were here, love. I wish you could see this. But I know she is. In some way, she is here, guiding me, telling me I am doing the right thing, and that gives me peace. It is night. The hotel restaurant is almost empty. There is only one large round table in the center, reserved. 8 chairs, 8 people, my family. I am at another table, in the back, almost in the shadows. George brought me a coffee 10 minutes ago. I have not touched it. I just watch. The table is decorated with flowers, candles, wine glasses. Michael arrives first, with Sarah on his arm. She wears a black dress, elegant. He wears a white shirt, blazer. Lucy walks behind. with a pink dress that is too big for her. Behind come David, Linda, Robert, and Susan. Everyone sits, laughs, talks loudly, as if they were the only ones in the restaurant. A young waiter takes their order. Michael orders expensive wine. David orders the same. Robert makes a joke. Susan laughs. Sarah checks her phone. Lucy looks at her empty plate, says nothing, just watches. The waiter brings the wine. Michael tastes it, nods. This is actually good. Finally, something decent in this place. David raises his glass. A toast. Everyone raises their glasses, except Lucy. She just holds hers, without enthusiasm. David speaks loudly. To my son Michael, a man who knows what he wants in life, who does not settle, who always seeks the best. Everyone clinks their glasses. Cheers! Michael smiles. That smile I know so well. That smile that says, I am better than you. He raises his glass too. And to my wife Sarah, who finally understood that you have to surround yourself with winners, with people who add, not people who subtract. He looks at Sarah. She smiles, but it is a forced smile. I know her. I know my daughter. I know when she is faking. And now she is faking. Everyone clinks their glasses again. Robert, the brother-in-law, clears his throat. And let's toast as well to leaving the dead weight behind. Sometimes it is necessary. Laughter, uncomfortable, but laughter. Sarah does not laugh. She just drinks from her glass. Fast, as if she wanted to drown something. Lucy has not touched her food, just looks at the plate. The fork in her hand, tears in her eyes. No one notices her. No one asks if she is okay. Everyone is busy celebrating. Celebrating what? I do not know. Celebrating having left me out, I suppose. Suddenly Lucy stands up. Her chair makes noise against the floor. Everyone turns. Where are you going? Asks Sarah. Lucy does not look at her. To the bathroom? Sarah nods. Do not take long. Lucy walks, fast, as if she were escaping, crosses the restaurant. Her path passes near my table. Very close, too close. She sees me. She stops dead. Her eyes open wide. Grandpa? I give her a quick signal. Desperate. Not to speak loudly, not to draw attention. She understands. Looks towards her table. No one is watching. Everyone is busy with their glasses, with their laughter, with their empty toasts. Lucy takes 2 more steps, stands next to my table. She does not sit, just stands there, trembling. What are you doing here? Her voice is a broken whisper. I take her hand, quickly. Sit down, just a second. Fast. She sits on the edge of the chair, as if she were ready to run at any moment. Grandpa? They said you didn't... She does not finish the sentence. She cannot. I squeeze her hand. I know, honey. I know everything. She has tears rolling down her cheeks now. It is not fair. It is not fair what they did to you. Mom, I put a finger on her lips. Lucy, listen to me. I need you not to say anything. To anyone. Do you understand? She feels confused. Why? Why are you here? I smile. That smile I always give her. Because sometimes you have to be where you are not wanted, so they see the truth. She frowns. What truth? I do not answer. I just squeeze her hand again. Tomorrow, Lucy. Tomorrow you will understand everything, but for now I need you to go back, and do not say anything. Nothing about seeing me? Promised? Lucy hesitates, looks towards her table, looks towards me, then nods. Promised. She wipes her tears with the back of her hand, gets up. But before leaving, she leans in and hugs me, quickly, strongly. I love you, Grandpa. I kiss her forehead. And I love you, honey. Now go. Before they notice, she nods, walks towards the bathroom, disappears down the hallway. I take a deep breath. I look towards the family table. No one saw anything. No one noticed Lucy's absence. Everyone keeps laughing, drinking, celebrating, but Sarah. Sarah looks towards where Lucy went, frowns. Something does not add up for her. She gets up. Sarah walks towards the bathroom, fast, with determination, passes by my table, so close I could touch her. But she does not look at me. I lower my head, hide behind the newspaper. She keeps walking, disappears down the same hallway where Lucy went. I wait. Seconds that seem like hours. Finally, the two return. Lucy first, with red but dry eyes. Sarah behind, frowning. They sit down. Sarah says something to Lucy. I do not hear what, but Lucy shakes her head. Sarah insists. Lucy shakes her head again. Sarah stares at her, then looks around. Her eyes pass by my table. But again, she does not see me. She only sees an old man. Nothing more. I stay still, motionless. The newspaper in front of me, the cold coffee untouched. George passes. Do you need anything else, Mr. Arthur? He speaks softly, almost a whisper. I shake my head. No, George. Thank you. He leaves. I look towards my family's table. I see Michael make another toast. To families who know how to choose well. I see Sarah force another smile. I see Lucy, with her head down, not touching her food. I see David talk loudly about success and those who deserve it. I see everyone celebrate. Celebrate leaving me out. Celebrate being better than me. And I smile. Because they do not know. They know nothing. I get up, leave money on the table. More than necessary. George deserves a good tip. I walk towards the exit of the restaurant. I do not pass near their table this time. I take another path. On the opposite side. No one sees me leave. I reach the hallway, breathe, walk towards the elevators, go up to my suite, the presidential suite, the one Michael wants so much, the one Michael will never have. I enter, close the door, sit on the balcony, look at the sea, the waves, the moon, and I think of Grace. Tomorrow, love, I say to the wind. Tomorrow they will know who I was, who we were, and why we decided to be invisible. If you are listening to my story, let me know in the comments where you are watching us from. Sometimes, knowing that there are people in the world who understand what I live through gives me the strength to tell what is missing. Because what is missing is the hardest part, but also the most necessary. I stay on the balcony until late. I see the restaurant lights go out. I see my family leaving. I see Michael walking with Sarah. I see Lucy walking alone behind everyone. And I feel something in my chest, something that is not rage, something that is not sadness, something that is clarity, the clarity of knowing that I did right in coming, that Grace was right, that sometimes you have to let the truth hurt, because that is the only way it hurts less later. The next morning at 9, Michael comes down to the lobby. He is not alone. He is accompanied by a man I have never seen. 50 years old, maybe. Expensive gray suit. Too expensive for someone coming to this hotel. Italian shoes. Watch that shines from afar. Big smile. Too big. Salesman smile. One of those that promise everything and deliver nothing. Michael guides him to a table on the lobby terrace. A secluded table. Private. David appears 2 minutes later, sits with them. The three speak softly. They laugh. Michael takes papers out of a briefcase. The man in the gray suit reviews them. I'm sitting at the other end of the terrace, behind a newspaper. Again. Invisible. Again. I cannot hear what they say, but I see the gestures. I see how Michael points at the papers, with confidence. I see how the man nods. I see how David smiles with approval. Whatever they are planning, it is not good. I know it. I feel it. A waitress brings them coffee. Michael does not even look at her when she thanks him. The man in the gray suit doesn't either. Only David nods his head. Polite. Always polite in public, but cruel in private, like his son. Suddenly a hand rests on my shoulder. I jump. It is Mark, my accountant. My partner for 30 years. He sits in front of me without saying anything, just points with his head towards Michael's table. Do you see him? Mark speaks softly, almost a whisper. I nod. Who is he? Mark takes out his phone, shows me a photo. It is the same man, but in another photo, in a newspaper article. The headline says, Oliver Reed accused of real estate fraud. I read fast. Scams, fake investments, ghost properties, 3 years in prison, parole 6 months ago. I look up, look at the man. Oliver Reed, con artist, and he is sitting with my son-in-law, planning something, with papers I recognize, because those papers... Grace signed those. Does Michael know? My voice trembles, not from fear, from rage. Mark shakes his head. I doubt it, or he does not care. But, Arthur, there is something worse. He shows me another document on his phone. They are power of attorney documents, signed by Sarah, 3 months ago, giving Michael total control over the properties, over the accounts, over everything. Does she know what she signed? Mark shakes his head again. He probably told her it was something routine. Taxes, paperwork. You know how Michael is. Yes, I know how he is. Manipulative. Liar. And now he is about to sell my daughter's properties to a con artist. I close my eyes. Breathe deeply. When do they sign? Mark checks his phone. Tomorrow, at 10 in the morning, right here, in the hotel event hall. I open my eyes. Look at Mark. They are not going to sign. He stares at me. Are you sure? I nod. Completely. But I need you to get me something. Mark takes out a notebook. Tell me. I speak slowly, with calm, although inside I am burning. I need you to contact the authorities. Tell them Oliver Reed is here, that he is about to commit another fraud. Investigate him. Detain him if necessary. But not before tomorrow. Not before I do what I have to do? Mark nods. Understood. He gets up. But before leaving, he squeezes my shoulder. Arthur, what you are going to do? Are you sure? I look at him. I have never been more sure of anything in my life. Mark leaves. I keep watching. Michael is now showing something on his phone to Oliver. Oliver nods, smiles. David says something, and the three laugh, as if they were closing the deal of the century, as if they were being smart. But they are not. They are stupid, greedy, and tomorrow they are going to pay for it. I get up, walk inside, but before entering I turn one last time. I see Michael shaking Oliver's hand. I see David patting his son's back, and I see the papers on the table. The papers with my daughter's name, with my inheritance, with everything Grace and I built. And I feel something in my chest. It is not pain, it is determination. I go up to my suite. Rebecca's waiting for me in the hallway. Did you see? I nod. I saw everything. She follows me inside, closes the door. Mark already told me. Oliver Reed, con artist. And Michael is doing business with him. I sit on the sofa, take off my glasses, rub my eyes. Does Sarah know anything? Rebecca shakes her head. I do not think so. This morning I saw her at breakfast. She was calm, happy even, as if nothing was happening. Of course, because she does not know. She never knows. Because Michael never tells her anything. He just asks her to sign. And she signs. Because she trusts him. Because she thinks he loves her. But no. Michael only loves himself. Rebecca sits in front of me. Arthur, there is something you need to know. She takes out her phone, passes it to me. It is a message from someone I do not know. It says, Michael Miller asked for a loan of $2 million, using Sarah's properties as collateral. If he does not pay in 6 months, the properties go to the bank. I read the message 2 times. 3 times. When did he ask for this loan? Rebecca checks. A month ago, Sarah signed the papers, but I do not think she knew what it was for. Of course not. Michael told her it was something else, something innocent, and she signed, as always. And the money? Where is it? Rebecca shows me another screen. Transfers, accounts, investments, all in Michael's name, nothing in Sarah's name. I get up, walk towards the window, look at the sea, the waves, the sky. I think of Grace, of how she warned me about this. Sarah is going to suffer, Arthur. She is going to marry someone like herself. Or worse, she is going to suffer. I told her no, that Sarah would mature, that she would choose well. But no. Grace was right, as always. Sarah chose Michael, and Michael is destroying her, and she does not even know it. I turn to Rebecca. Can you get me all the information? Everything Michael has done with my daughter's money, every transfer, every investment, every lie. Rebecca nods. I already have it. Mark and I have been investigating for weeks. She hands me a folder, thick, full of documents. Everything is there. I open the folder, read, page after page. Every document is a blow. Every number is a betrayal. Michael did not just ask for one loan. He asked for 3, using different properties, different collateral, and the money went into failed investments, into businesses that do not exist, into accounts only he controls. Sarah has access to nothing, and if something goes wrong, she loses everything. Everything I left her, everything Grace wanted her to have. I close the folder, leave it on the table, look at Rebecca. Tomorrow, at breakfast, I want everyone there. Michael, Sarah, David, everyone, and I want Oliver to be there too. Invite him. Tell him it is a welcome meeting, that the hotel wants to thank him for coming. Rebecca smile, a smile that does not reach her eyes. Understood. She gets up, walks towards the door, but before leaving, she stops. Arthur, are you ready for this? For Sarah to know everything, for her to see who Michael is, for her to know who you are. I take a deep breath. I think of my daughter, of the girl she was, of the woman she is, and of the woman she could be if she finally opens her eyes. I'm ready, Rebecca, more than ready. This should have happened a long time ago. She nods. Tomorrow, then? She leaves, closes the door. I stay alone, looking at the folder, thinking about everything that is going to happen tomorrow, and how nothing is going to be the same after that. I stay sitting on the sofa in my suite, the folder on the table, the documents scattered, the proof of everything Michael did. I look at my watch. It is 6 p.m. I have been locked in here all day. Meetings, papers, plans. And suddenly I feel how heavy my body is, how tension accumulates in my shoulders, in my neck. I need air. I need to move. I leave the suite, walk down the hallway, aimlessly, just walking. I pass the gym. It is closed. I pass the pool, empty. And then I see the sign, spa and massage, open until 9 p.m. I hesitate, but my back hurts, my head hurts. And tomorrow? Tomorrow I need to be well, strong. I enter. The spa receptionist, a young girl named Mary, smiles at me. Good afternoon, sir. Would you like a massage? I nod. Yes, something for tension. She checks her computer. We have availability now. Room 3. Come with me. She guides me through a dimly lit hallway. Soft music, smell of lavender, everything designed to relax, but I cannot relax, not yet. Mary opens the door to room 3. Here it is. Lie face down. The therapist will come right away. She leaves. I close the door, take off my shirt, lie on the table. Face down, face in that special hole, looking at the floor. I close my eyes. Breathe. Try to clear my mind. But I cannot. I only think about tomorrow, about Sarah, about Michael, about everything. I hear the door open, soft steps. Good afternoon, sir. It is a female voice, young. I'm going to start with the shoulders. If you feel too much pressure, let me know. She starts massaging. Strong, professional. And it hurts, but it is a pain that helps. That releases. 5 minutes pass. 10. And then I hear voices. From the other side of the wall. The room next door. Room 2. Men's voices. Talking loudly, laughing, and I recognize that laugh. Michael. My body tenses immediately. The therapist notices. Sir, relax. You are very tense. But I cannot. Because Michael is 3 meters from me. Just a wall separates us. David's voice is heard clearly. I really needed this massage. After dealing with everything all day? Michael laughs. Dealing with what, Dad? We are on vacation. David, with your father-in-law. That old man is following us, I swear. I have seen him in the lobby, in the restaurant, always there, watching. My heart races. The therapist keeps working on my back, but I do not feel anything anymore. I only listen. Michael responds, "Do not be paranoid, Dad. He is just a pathetic old man with no life. He is probably here because he has nothing better to do. What is he going to do? Spy on us?" They laugh, both of them, and I clench my fists under the table. David, it still gives me a bad feeling. What if he says something to Sarah? What if he tries to ruin tomorrow? Michael, he is not going to ruin anything. Tomorrow I sign with Oliver. We transfer the properties. We make the payment. And it is over. Sarah will never know. By the time she realizes, it will be too late to do anything. Silence. Then Michael continues. Besides, what is she going to say? That she signed papers without reading? That makes her look like an idiot. No. She is going to shut up, like always. I feel the rage boiling inside me, as if my blood were heating up degree by degree. The therapist notices my tension. Sir, please, I need you to relax. You are very stiff. But I cannot, because I keep listening. David speaks now. And the old man? Arthur. What are you going to do with him? Michael. Do? Nothing. Let him keep existing in his miserable house. Let him keep believing he is part of the family. Anyway, in a few years he dies. And when that happens, Sarah inherits what little he has. And we take care of that too. He laughs. Although honestly, I do not think he has anything. The old man lived his whole life as a failure, without ambition, without vision, without anything. David. But the properties he left Sarah, Michael, those he got by pure luck or who knows. Maybe Grace had some money saved. But Arthur, no. Arthur is a total zero. He always was. Every word is a dagger. Every laugh is a blow. And I have to bite my lip not to scream, not to get up, not to enter that room and confront them right there. But I do not do it, because tomorrow is when everything comes to light, and it has to be perfect. It has to be devastating. It has to be impossible to deny. The therapist finishes. Ready, sir, you can get dressed. She leaves. I stay there, lying down, breathing, processing. I hear Michael and David finish as well. I hear their voices walking away down the hallway. Tomorrow at 10 with Oliver. Everything ready. Everything ready. They leave. The silence returns. I get up, slowly, put on my shirt. My hands tremble. Not from fear, from rage, from indignation. I leave the room. Mary sees me. Everything okay, sir? You look pale. I nod. I'm fine. How much is it? She checks. The massage is already paid, sir, courtesy of the hotel. Of course, because this is my hotel. I leave the spa, walk down the hallway, and I do not go to my suite. I cannot. I need air. I need space. I need to think. I go down the stairs, go out to the garden, walk towards the beach. The sand is cold under my feet. The moon is full. The sea sounds loud, constant, like a heartbeat. I sit down, look at the horizon, and process. Everything I heard, every word, every laugh, every plan. A total zero. That is what Michael said. A failure. A pathetic old man with no life. And David. David agreed, backed him up, encouraged him. I feel the tears wanting to come out, but I do not let them, because I am not going to cry for them. I am not going to give them that power. Instead, I think about tomorrow, about how I am going to enter that room, about how I am going to show them everything, about how their faces are going to change when they know, when they see, when they understand that the pathetic old man they despise so much is the owner of the place where they are standing. He is the man who built an empire while they built nothing. And I smile, a cold smile, hard, because tomorrow Michael and David are going to discover something. They are going to discover that they underestimated the wrong man. I stay on the beach. I do not know how long. an hour, maybe 2. I see the hotel lights go out little by little. I see the sky change, the stars shine brighter, and I think of Grace, of how she always knew. She always saw what I did not want to see, that Sarah was ambitious, that she could marry someone worse than her, that she could get lost, and it happened. Everything happened as she feared. But she also told me something else, something I did not understand until now. Take care of her, Arthur, even if she does not deserve it. Take care of her. And that is what I am going to do tomorrow. I am not going to take revenge. I am going to protect her. I am going to show her who Michael is. I am going to save her from him, even if it hurts, even if she hates me, even if it costs me everything. I get up, walk back to the hotel, go up to my suite, and this time I know exactly what to do. Tomorrow at 10, event hall. The whole truth. No mercy, no doubts, no turning back. I cannot sleep. It is 2 in the morning, and I am on the balcony of my suite, watching the sea. The moon is full. The sound of the waves should calm me, but no, because tomorrow everything changes, and I do not know if I am doing the right thing. I get up, go down the stairs, go out to the beach. The sand is cold under my feet. I walk aimlessly, just walk, and I think. I think of Grace, of our last real conversation, 2 days before the surgery. We were at the hospital, she in the bed, me sitting beside her, holding her hand. She was afraid. Me too. But neither of us said it. We just looked at each other, and she spoke. Arthur, if something happens to me, I interrupted her. Nothing is going to happen, love. It is a simple surgery. She smiled, that sad smile that knew I was lying. If something happens to me, she repeated, promise me you will take care of the children. Thomas, Sarah. But above all, Sarah. I frowned. Why above all her? Grace squeezed my hand. Because she is the one who needs it most, even if she does not know it, even if she does not want it. She is the one who is going to suffer most. I shook my head. Sarah is fine. She has Michael, she has Lucy. She is fine. Grace looked at me hard, with those eyes that always saw beyond. No, Arthur, she is not fine. And Michael is not good for her. I wanted to argue, wanted to defend him, but I couldn't, because deep down, I knew it too. Grace continued. Arthur, the children cannot know yet. About the money, about the hotels, about everything we built. I nodded. I know, that was always the plan. She nodded. But Sarah's different. She is very young still, very ambitious. She has to learn first what truly has value, what truly matters. If you tell her now, if you tell her we are rich, it will be worse. She will believe she can buy everything, that she can step on anyone, like my father. And there it was, the comparison Grace always avoided, but that was always there. Sarah was like her grandfather, ambitious, cold, limitless. Someday they will understand, I told her. Someday we will tell them everything, and they will understand why we lived like this, why we chose to be simple. Grace shook her head, her eyes filled with tears. Not Sarah, love. She will never understand. She is like my father. She steps on anyone to climb. That is why we have to wait. That is why we cannot tell her, not until she changes, if she changes. I nodded, because I did not know what else to say. Because Grace was right. She always was. 2 days later, she went into surgery, and she never came out. There were complications, an infection, something the doctors did not see. And in 3 days, my wife was dead, and I was alone. With a secret I no longer knew if I should keep, I returned to the present. I am sitting on the sand now, with my knees bent, looking at the horizon, and I remember when Sarah was 20. She was in college, studying administration. Her cousin Letitia was also studying there. They were friends, good friends, until one day Sarah came home and said, I'm not going to speak to Letitia. anymore. Grace asked her why. Sarah shrugged. Because she is not on my level. She dresses badly, speaks badly. Her friends are, well, you know. I do not want people to associate me with her. Grace tried to talk to her, tried to explain that family matters more than appearance. But Sarah did not listen. She never listened. And then there was Thomas, my youngest son, intelligent, hard-working, humble. He wanted to study engineering, but at a state university, because it was good, because it was affordable, because he wanted to prove he could do it alone. Sarah made fun of him. A state university? Are you crazy? What will people say? Thomas told her he did not care about people. Sarah insisted, convinced him it was shameful, that the family would look bad, and Thomas gave in. He studied at a private university, got into debt, worked double, suffered triple. And Sarah never apologized, never saw the damage she did. Because for her Thomas was less, and the lesser do not matter. And when Grace tried to get Sarah to work, when my wife got her an opportunity at a close friend's company, something honest, something dignified, she laughed. Work in a normal office, with common people? No, Mom, I was not born for that. I was born for something better, for something big. Grace cried that night, cried because she saw what I did not want to see, that Sarah was lost, that it did not matter how much we loved her, that she had chosen a different path, a path where people do not matter, only money, only power, only appearance. And now she is married to a man who thinks the same, or worse, a man who is using her, who is destroying her, and she does not even see it. I hear steps on the sand. I turn. It is Rebecca. She walks towards me with a tablet in her hand. I knew you would be here. She sits next to me, says nothing for a moment, just watches the sea with me. Finally, she speaks. Arthur, we found something else, something you need to see. She passes me the tablet. It is a video, private, from a security camera, from my own house, my living room. 3 months ago, I see Sarah and Michael. They are alone, discussing but not fighting, planning. I press play. The volume is low, but I hear clearly Sarah's voice. My father has nothing, Michael. He lived like a failure his whole life. I feel my chest tighten, as if someone were squeezing my heart. Michael responds, but he has those properties, the ones he left you. They must be worth something. Sarah shrugs. Maybe, but not much. My father never had vision, never knew how to make real money. Michael approaches her, hugs her. Do not worry, love. I know how to handle that. I'm going to make those properties worth something. I'm going to multiply that money. And when your father, well, when he is gone, everything will be ours. And then, yes, we are going to live as we deserve. Sarah laughs. It is not a nervous laugh. It is a genuine laugh. Meanwhile, let him keep believing we are a happy family, that he keeps believing we love him. It is easier that way. Michael laughs too. Exactly. Easier that way. The video ends. I stay looking at the black screen. In silence, Rebecca touches my arm. Arthur, I am sorry. I did not know if I should show you or not, but Mark said you need to see everything before tomorrow, so you are sure. I nod, slowly. I return the tablet, look towards the sea again, and I do not feel pain. I do not feel sadness. I only feel nothing, as if something inside me had turned off, as if the last hope I had that Sarah could change had died with that video. Rebecca speaks softly. Do you still want to do it tomorrow? I look at her, and my voice comes out cold, firm, without doubt. Yes, tomorrow at breakfast. I want everyone there. Rebecca nods, gets up, gives me a hand to help me up. We walk back to the hotel in silence. When we reach the lobby, she stops. Arthur, just one more thing. What is going to happen after? After everyone knows? After Sarah sees the video? After Michael loses everything? What is going to happen to your daughter? I breathe deep, Think of Grace, of what she told me. Take care of Sarah, even if she does not deserve it. Take care of her. And I answer, it is going to hurt. It is going to hurt a lot. But she is going to be free. For the first time in her life, she is going to be free of Michael. And then maybe, just maybe, she can start over. Rebecca smiles, a sad smile. Sad. I hope you are right. I nod. I hope so too. I return to my suite. It is 3 a.m. I cannot sleep. I sit on the balcony, look at the sea, the stars, and I think of Thomas, my youngest son, the only one who never turned his back on me, the only one who defended me when Sarah attacked me, the only one who cried when they excluded me from the trip. Thomas was not invited either. He does not fit in the budget, Michael said. Lie. Thomas did not fit in his plans. Because Thomas defends me. Because Thomas knows I'm not a mediocrity. And suddenly something clicks in my head. Thomas deserves to know. He deserves to know before Sarah. Before everyone. Because he did value people. He did understand what Grace wanted to teach them. I take my phone. I write a message. Son, I need you to come to the resort. It is urgent. Ocean View Hotel. Do not tell anyone. I wait 5 minutes. 10. The phone vibrates. It is Thomas. Dad? What are you doing there? Are you okay? I smile. Always worried about me. Always taking care of me, I write. I am fine. But I need you to come. Trust me. Thomas responds immediately. Leaving in 2 hours, arriving at noon, he asks no more. Just trusts. As always. I put away the phone. Breathe deep. Tomorrow is going to be a long day, but before I need to do this, I need my son to know the truth his mother and I kept for so many years, the truth Sarah never deserved to know. But Thomas, yes, Thomas always deserved it. I get up, enter the suite, lie down, and this time I can sleep, because I know I did the right thing. It is 12 noon. I am on the balcony of my suite, nervous, excited, scared, all at the same time. My phone vibrates. It is Thomas. I arrived at the hotel. Where are you? I write. Stay in the lobby. Someone will go for you. I send a message to Rebecca. Thomas is downstairs. Bring him to the presidential suite. She responds. Understood. I wait. Pace back and forth. Look in the mirror. Adjust my shirt. Breathe. I hear steps in the hallway. Voices. It is Rebecca. And Thomas. She stops in front of my door. I hear Thomas's voice. Presidential suite? My dad? Rebecca answers something I do not hear. Knocks on the door. Twice. Soft. I open. And there he is. My son. My Thomas. With confused eyes. With suitcase in hand. With that expression he always has when he does not understand something. Dad. I hug him. Strong. Stronger than I have hugged him in years. He hugs me too. Dad, what is happening? Are you okay? I do not answer. I just hug him. Because in this moment, I need to feel that I am not alone, that I have someone on my side. Finally, I separate. Come in, son, please. Thomas enters, leaves his suitcase on the floor, looks around, the huge suite, the elegant furniture, the balcony with ocean view, the living room, the jacuzzi, everything. His eyes open wider with each thing he sees. Dad, what is this? How? He turns to me. I close the door, guide him to the sofa. Sit down, Thomas. There's something you need to know. Something your mom and I decided to keep many years ago. Thomas sits, slowly, without stopping looking at me. I sit in front of him and I start talking. Thomas, do you remember when you were a child and your mom told you that money was not the most important thing? He nods. Yes, she always said that. I continue. Your mom and I, we were not poor, son. We never were. Thomas frowns. What do you mean? I breathe deep. 35 years ago, your mom and I founded a hotel chain. 12 boutique hotels all along the coast. This hotel, the Ocean View, is one of them. I am the co-owner, Thomas. I always have been. Silence. Thomas looks at me without blinking, without moving, as if he were processing the words, but could not believe them. What? His voice is barely a whisper. I nod. It is true. Everything. The hotels. The money. The consortium. Everything is real. And your mom knew. She always knew. Thomas stands up, walks to the window, runs his hands through his hair, breathes deep, says nothing, just watches the sea. I wait. Finally he speaks, but his voice sounds different, tense. Why did you never tell me? He turns, and I see something in his eyes I had never seen. Pain, confusion, anger. I went into debt studying, Dad. I worked double shifts while I studied. I suffered. I stayed up all night. I cried. Because I thought I had to do it alone. Because I thought we had nothing. His voice breaks. And you had this the whole time? All this time? He does not shout, but his voice trembles, and I feel how every word cuts me. Because he is right. He is absolutely right. I get up, walk towards him. Thomas, let me explain. Your mom was afraid, I say. My voice trembles too. Afraid that you would grow up believing money was everything, that people did not matter, that you could buy whatever you wanted, step on whoever you wanted, like your mom's father. He was like that, rich, powerful, and cruel. Your mom did not want you to be like that. Thomas looks at me, tears in his eyes. But Dad, I'm not like that. I never was like that. I nod. I know, son, I know. That is why your mom trusted you. That is why she always said you would understand. We had a plan. Tell you when you were mature, when you understood the value of things, the value of people. Thomas pauses. I feel my throat close. But your mom died before that moment arrived, and I did not know when was the right moment. Thomas wipes his tears, breathes deep. Mom knew I would understand, right? His voice is soft now, broken. I nod. Yes, son, she knew. She always knew. You were the son she wanted both of you to be. Humble, hardworking, who values people. That is why she trusted you. Thomas walks towards me, hugs me, and cries. Cries like I haven't seen him cry since Grace's funeral. And I hug him too, because in this moment, we are just a father and a son. Two men who lost the woman they loved, and who are trying to understand how to move forward. We stay like that for minutes, without speaking, just holding. Finally, Thomas separates, wipes his eyes. Why tell me now? Why here? I sit down, signal him to sit too, because there is something else you need to know, something about your sister, about Michael. And I tell him everything. I tell him about the trip, about how they excluded me, about how Michael called me mediocre, about how Sarah said she needed space for me. I show him the video of Sarah and Michael speaking badly of me, planning to use my properties, waiting for me to die. Thomas watches it in silence. His face hardens with every second. When the video ends, he closes his eyes. I cannot believe it, he says. I continue. I tell him about Oliver, about the fraudulent loans, about the harassment of Chloe, about everything, absolutely everything. Thomas listens without interrupting. When I finish, he breathes deep. And what are you going to do? Tomorrow at 10 a.m. there's a special breakfast in the event hall. The whole family will be there, including Michael, including Oliver. And I am going to reveal everything. Who am I? What do I have? What did Michael do? What did Sarah say? Everything. Thomas looks at me. And Sarah? She is going to know. I nod. She is going to know everything. It is going to hurt. It is going to hurt a lot. But it is the only way for her to be free, to see who Michael really is and who I was all my life. Thomas stays in silence, processing, thinking. Finally he speaks. I need you to be with me, son. I need you to accompany me when I reveal everything, because you are the proof that Grace and I were not wrong. that our plan could work, that raising children with values is possible. Even if one fails, the other made it. Thomas gets up, walks towards me, extends his hand. I take it, but he pulls me and hugs me. I have always been with you, Dad, when Sarah attacked you, when Michael despised you, when no one else defended you. I was there, and tomorrow I am going to be there too, in the front row. I feel tears coming out. I cannot contain them. Thank you, son. Thank you. We separate. Thomas smiles, a sad smile, but firm. Mom would be proud of you, Dad, of what you're going to do, of how you're going to protect Sarah, even if she does not deserve it. I nod. I hope so, son. I hope so. Thomas takes his suitcase. I'm going to rest a bit. What time do we meet? I look at my watch. At 9 tonight. Private boardroom. There are more people you need to meet. Thomas nods, leaves, and I stay alone. But for the first time in days, for the first time I do not feel alone. It is 9 at night. I'm in the hotel's private boardroom, a small room with a long table, with comfortable chairs, with a big screen on the wall. Rebecca's with me. Mark, too. George, the old waiter, is sitting in a corner, nervous. Emily, the receptionist, is standing by the door. And there is someone else, a woman I have not seen in years. Chloe, 38 years old, dark hair, sad eyes. She was a hotel employee 3 years ago, until Michael did something that forced her to resign. Mark spreads documents on the table, photos, recordings, videos. Everything is there, the whole truth. The door opens. Thomas enters. He no longer has that confused expression from this morning. Now he has determination, strength, looks at everyone, nods in greeting, sits beside me, touches my shoulder. I'm ready, Dad. What do you need me to do? I look at my son and I feel pride. Pride that he is here, that he understood, that he forgave. I just need you to be there, son, tomorrow, when everything comes to light. That you are on my side, that is all. Thomas nods. Always. I turn to the others. Good. We all know why we are here. Tomorrow at 10. Event hall. The whole family will be present, and we are going to reveal everything. But before I need us all to know exactly what we are going to show, what we are going to say, how we are going to do it. Mark stands up. I start. He takes out a thick folder, opens it. Here is everything on Michael. 3 fraudulent loans. Total, $2,200,000. He used Sarah's properties as collateral. She signed the papers without knowing what they were for. Mark passes documents around the table. Everyone reviews them. Thomas reads them with attention. His face hardens. This is criminal. Mark nods. Yes, and there is more. The money was not invested in anything legitimate. It went to Michael's personal accounts, ghost investments, businesses that do not exist. If the banks execute the loans, Sarah loses everything. Thomas looks at me. Dad, does she know any of this? I shake my head. Nothing. Michael tells her they are routine procedures, taxes, legal things, and she signs because she trusts him. Thomas clenches his fists. That bastard! Rebecca intervenes. There is more. Oliver Reed, Michael's supposed investor partner, is a known con artist. He was exposed 2 years ago. 3 years in prison. Parole 6 months ago. If Michael signs something with him tomorrow, he will be an accomplice to fraud. Rebecca takes out her tablet, shows us photos of Oliver, newspaper articles, police reports. The authorities are already aware. They are waiting for the signal. If Michael tries to sign something with Oliver tomorrow, they will detain him. Both of them. Thomas speaks. Good. Let him rot in jail. His voice is cold, hard. I have never heard him speak like that. I look at Chloe. She is quiet, hands in her lap, looking at the table. Chloe, I say gently. She looks up. Are you sure you want to do this? To tell your story in front of everyone? She breathes deep, nods. Yes, Mr. Arthur, I'm sure. I have kept this for 3 years. I have been afraid for 3 years, but not any more. It is time everyone knows who Michael Miller is. Chloe stands up, walks to the front of the room. We all look at her. She speaks. Her voice trembles at first, but gets firmer. 3 years ago, I worked here at this hotel. I was an event assistant. Organized weddings, conferences, things like that. One day a group came, a family for a celebration, I do not remember what. But one of them was Michael Miller. She stops, breathes, continues. Michael was kind at first, asked about the menu, the options, the prices. Normal, but then he started seeking me out, asking me personal things, if I had a boyfriend, if I lived alone, if I wanted to earn extra money. I see Thomas clench his jaw, how George lowers his head, how Emily covers her mouth. Chloe continues. One night, after an event, he waited for me in the parking lot. He offered me money, a lot of money, to have a good time with him. Those were his exact words. Tears start rolling down Chloe's cheeks, but she does not stop. I told him no, that he was confused, that I just worked there. He laughed. He told me everyone has a price, that I just had to say how much I wanted. I tried to walk away, but he grabbed my arm, hard. He hurt me. And he told me if I spoke, if I told anyone, he would destroy me, that he had contacts, that he could ruin my life, that no one would believe me. Chloe wipes her tears. The next day I resigned. I did not tell anyone why. I just left, and never came back, until now. Absolute silence in the room. Thomas gets up, walks towards Chloe, puts a hand on her shoulder. Thank you. Thank you for being brave. I also get up, walk towards Chloe. I'm so sorry, Chloe. I knew nothing. If I had known... She shakes her head. It is not your fault, Mr. Arthur. You did nothing wrong. He did. And tomorrow, everyone will know what kind of man he is. I nod, hug her, brief, respectful. I turn to everyone. This is what we are going to show tomorrow. Mark's documents, Rebecca's information on Oliver, Chloe's testimony, and the video. The video of Sarah and Michael speaking badly of me, planning to use my properties, waiting for me to die. Mark stands up. I have everything ready, videos, audios, documents, testimonies, everything on a USB connected to the event hall screen. You just give the signal and the presentation starts. Rebecca takes the floor. The hall is prepared. Large table for 8 people. Elegant breakfast. Flowers. Candles. Everything perfect. The family will arrive thinking it is a thank you from the hotel. A special courtesy breakfast. She smiles. A humorless smile. Oliver's also going to be there. I sent him a personal invitation. The hotel wants to thank him for his visit. He accepted immediately. Thomas speaks. And the authorities? Rebecca nods. They will be outside, waiting, if Michael tries to do something, if Oliver tries to flee. They will detain them. I look at everyone, at Rebecca, at Mark, at Thomas, at George, at Emily, at Chloe. Thank you. Thank you all for being here, for believing in me, for helping me do this. Thomas puts a hand on my shoulder. You do not have to thank us, Dad. It is the right thing. I take out my phone. Look at Grace's photo. That photo I always carry. I stare at it, think of her last words. Do it when it is necessary, Arthur. When it is necessary. Today is necessary. I put away the phone. Look at everyone. One last thing. Tomorrow, when I reveal everything, Sarah is going to break. She is going to cry. She is going to ask for forgiveness. And maybe some of you will feel pity for her. But I need you to understand something. This is not revenge. This is justice. This is protecting her. From Michael. From herself. From her own greed. Thomas nods. We understand, Dad. Rebecca stands up. Arthur, it is 10 p.m. We all need to rest. Tomorrow is going to be a very long day. She is right. Everyone gets up. One by one, they leave the room. I say goodbye to each one. Thomas is the last. Are you okay, Dad? I look at my son. I'm fine, Thomas. Nervous, scared, but fine. He smiles. Mom would be proud. I nod. I hope so, son. I hope so. Thomas leaves. I stay alone in the room, turn off the lights, leave, walk down the hotel hallway. Everything is calm, silent. I go up to my suite, enter, sit on the balcony, look at the sea, the stars, the moon, and I think of everything that will happen tomorrow, of how Sarah will react, of how Michael will collapse, of how my whole family will know who I am, who I always was. I think of Grace, of how we built all this together, of how she asked me to take care of Sarah. Even if she does not deserve it, take care of her. And that is what I am going to do tomorrow. I am going to take care of her, in the only way I know, showing her the truth. I stay on the balcony until late, very late. I see the hotel lights go out one by one. I see the sea darken. I see the stars shine brighter. And finally, I go in. I lie down, close my eyes, and for the first time in weeks, I sleep, deeply, without nightmares, without doubts, because I know tomorrow everything changes, forever. And I am ready, more than ready. Grace prepared me for this, gave me the tools, gave me the love, gave me the strength, and tomorrow I am going to use it all, for Sarah, for Thomas, for Lucy, for everyone Michael has hurt, and for me, for the man who was invisible his whole life, but who tomorrow will be impossible to ignore. It is 10 in the morning. I am in the hallway outside the event hall. I can hear voices inside, laughter, my family. They arrived 10 minutes ago, confused by the invitation, special courtesy breakfast. The hotel appreciates your preference. That is what the card Rebecca sent to their rooms this morning said. Michael must be happy. Finally, the recognition he thinks he deserves. I adjust my light suit. I touch the gold badge on my chest. Owner. Arthur. I breathe deep. Behind me are Rebecca, Mark, Thomas, George, Emily, all with their badges, all ready. Thomas touches my shoulder. Are you ready, Dad? I nod. More than ready, son. Rebecca speaks into her radio. Lights now. I hear a click. The lights in the hall go down. I hear confused exclamations inside. What is happening? It is Michael's voice. The giant screens turn on. The logo appears. Cardenas and Associates, Hotel Group. 35 years of excellence. I hear silence. Then Michael's voice again. What the hell is this? It is my turn. I walk towards the doors, open them, enter the hall. Everyone turns. Michael is standing by the table. Sarah sitting with eyes open like plates. David with fork in the air. Linda with hand on her chest. Robert and Susan looking at me without understanding. Lucy, my granddaughter, has tears in her eyes. And Oliver Reed, the con artist, sitting next to Michael with a smile that wipes off when he sees me. I walk slowly. With every step, the sound of my shoes echoes in the absolute silence. Behind me enter the others. Rebecca, Mark, Thomas, George, Emily, all with their uniforms, all with their badges shining. I reach the front of the hall, stand in front of the table, in front of my family. I look at them one by one. Michael has his mouth open. Sarah is pale. David frowns, and I smile, a small smile, calm. Good morning. My voice comes out clear, firm, without trembling. Michael is the first to react. What are you doing here? Who invited you? I do not answer. I just look at him, and that look silences him. Welcome to the Ocean View Hotel, I say. The screens behind me come to life. Old photos appear, from 35 years ago, of an empty lot, of the first architectural plans, of the construction, of the inauguration, and in all the photos is me, younger, with Grace by my side, cutting ribbons, smiling, receiving guests. This hotel was founded in 1990, by me and by my wife, Grace. The screens keep changing, more hotels, more inaugurations, more certificates. This hotel is one of the 12 boutique hotels I founded 35 years ago. The Cardenas and Associates Hotel Group, present on the entire Mexican Caribbean coast. Sarah makes a sound, like a whimper, as if she had been punched in the stomach. Michael shakes his head. No, that is impossible. You are. He does not finish the sentence, because he knows. Now he knows. David tries to get up. This has to be a mistake, a misunderstanding. I look at him. Just look at him. And he sits down, slowly. Sit down, Mr. Miller, I tell Michael. He is still standing, trembling. Sit down. I'm not finished yet. Michael sits, like a scolded child. I continue. The screens now show documents, property certificates, titles, shares, everything in my name. Everything legal, everything real. My wife and I made a decision many years ago. We decided to live with humility, without luxury, without showing off, because we believed in something. We believed our children should learn the value of things before knowing their price. I look at Sarah. She has her hands on her mouth, silent tears rolling down her cheeks. My wife feared something. She feared that if our children knew we were rich, they would grow up believing money was everything, that people did not matter, that they could buy whatever they wanted, step on whoever they wanted. Pause. The screens show a large photo of Grace, beautiful, smiling. We had a plan. Tell them when they were mature, when they understood. I look at Sarah straight in the eyes, but my wife was right. Some never understand. The screens change. Now a video appears. My living room, 3 months ago. Sarah and Michael, alone, talking. The audio starts playing. Sarah's voice fills the room. My father has nothing, Michael. He lived like a failure his whole life. Sarah screams, No, turn it off. She gets up from the chair, but the video continues. Michael's voice, But he has those properties, the ones he left you. They must be worth something. Sarah in the video, Maybe, but not much. My father never had vision, never knew how to make real money. Michael hugs her in the video. Do not worry, love. I know how to handle that. I'm going to make those properties worth something. And when your father, well, when he is gone, everything will be ours. Sarah laughs in the video. Meanwhile, let him keep believing we are a happy family. Let him keep believing we love him. It is easier that way. The video stops. Deadly silence. Sarah is standing, trembling, crying, looking at me with desperate eyes. Dad, that was... I raise my hand. Out of context, Sarah? My voice is cold now, cutting. No, it was exactly what you said, what you thought, what you felt. Sarah falls to her knees, cries with sobs that shake her body. But I do not stop. I cannot. Because this is not just for me. It is for everyone Michael hurt. The screens change again. Now they show bank documents, loans, transfers, accounts. Michael Miller. I say his name as if it were poison. You took 3 loans using my daughter's properties as collateral. Total $2,200,000. You told Sarah they were routine procedures, taxes. She signed trusting you. Michael tries to speak. That is... Mark steps forward, puts a folder on the table. The documents are here. Every loan, every signature, every transfer to your personal accounts. The screens show more. Ghost investments, businesses that do not exist, money that disappeared. If the banks execute those loans, Michael, my daughter loses everything. Everything I left her. David stands up. That is a lie. My son never... But his voice dies when he sees the documents, when he sees the numbers, when he sees the truth. But there is more, I say, and the screens change again. Now Chloe appears. A video pre-recorded this morning. She's sitting down, looking at the camera, telling her story, how Michael harassed her, how he offered her money, how he threatened her. Every word is a blow. Michael stands up. That is a lie. She is lying. But then the screens show more. Audio recordings, Michael's voice. That useless old man has nothing. Sarah thinks he does, but he is broke. He just gets in the way. Another recording. When he finally dies, we are going to sell everything, and then, yes, we are going to live well. Another one. Arthur is a mediocrity. His whole life was a failure. I do not know how Sarah did not notice before. The last recording is from 2 days ago. Michael talking to Oliver. Tomorrow we sign. The properties pass to your name. You make the transfer. And we split the profits. Sarah will never know. Silence. Michael is white, trembling. Linda, his mother, looks at him with horror. David has his head in his hands. I turn to Oliver Reed. He is sweating, looking towards the door, calculating if he can escape. Mr. Reed. I say his name clearly. Real estate fraud, 2022. 3 years in prison. Parole 6 months ago. The authorities are aware of your presence here, of your plan with Michael Miller. Oliver gets up fast, tries to run, but the doors open. 2 police officers enter, uniformed, with handcuffs. Oliver Reed is detained. One of the officers says rights. Oliver tries to resist, screams, "This is a trap! I did nothing!" But the police grab him, put the handcuffs on, take him away. His screams fade down the hallway. Michael is paralyzed, looking at the door, knowing he is next. David stands up, tries to defend his son. Wait, this has to be a misunderstanding. My son is a respectable businessman. He has legitimate businesses. Mark interrupts him. Mr. Miller, here are the documents that prove every accusation. If you want to review them, go ahead. But I warn you, your son is implicated in fraud, misappropriation, and conspiracy. Michael finally speaks, but his voice comes out broken, desperate. This is a trap. He set us a trap. He points at me. Arthur planned all this. He brought us here to humiliate us. I walk towards him, slowly, stand in front of him, look at him from above, because he is still sitting, small, pathetic. A trap, Michael? My voice is low, but everyone hears it. Is a trap revealing the truth? Is a trap protecting my daughter from a thief? From a stalker? From someone who is using her to steal everything? I lean in a little, so he sees me well, so he sees my eyes. No, Michael, this is not a trap. This is justice. I straighten up. Look at everyone. You called me mediocre. You told me I just existed, that I did nothing in life. I point around, to the elegant hall, to the screens, to the employees behind me, this hotel and 11 others. They are mine, always were, every time you came here to visit, every time you complained about the service, every time you humiliated my employees. I was here, watching, waiting, and signing every check that paid for your stay. I look at my family, at everyone. David and Linda are standing, ready to leave. Robert and Susan are already at the door. Lucy runs towards me, hugs me, hard, cries against my chest. Grandpa, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I stroke her hair. It is not your fault, my child. It was never your fault. Thomas also approaches, stands beside me, puts a hand on my shoulder, united, father and son, as it should have always been. I look at Sarah. She is still on the floor, kneeling, destroyed. She tries to speak, but only sobs come out. Dad, please, I raise my hand. No, Sarah, not yet. My voice is firm, but not cruel. Now is not the time to talk. Now is the time to understand what you lost, what you were about to lose, what you did to your own family. Pause. Tomorrow we will talk. When you are ready to listen, when you are ready to see the truth, not the one Michael sold you, but the real one. I turn, walk towards the door. Thomas and Lucy walk with me. Rebecca, Mark, George, and Emily follow us. We leave. The doors close behind us. And inside remains the silence. And Sarah, broken, alone, finally understanding who her father was and who she is. I walk down the hotel hallway, Thomas by my side, Lucy holding my hand. Rebecca walks ahead, Mark behind, like guardians. We reach the lobby. There are guests having breakfast, reading newspapers, drinking coffee, normal life, as if nothing had happened. But for me, everything just changed. 35 years of silence, 35 years of being invisible, and in 10 minutes, I became visible. Impossible to ignore. We go out to the terrace. The sun shines bright. The sea is calm. I sit in a chair. Thomas sits beside me. Lucy on my lap. She keeps crying. But they are different tears now, not of sadness, of relief. Are you okay, Grandpa? She asks with a small voice. I smile at her. I'm okay, my child. For the first time in a long time, I'm okay. I look at the horizon. I think of Grace. I did it, love, I say softly. I showed them the truth. Now, we just have to wait. Wait to see if Sarah can get up, if she can change, if she can be the daughter you wanted her to be. Thomas squeezes my shoulder, says nothing. No need. His presence is enough. We stay there, the three of us, looking at the sea, knowing nothing will be the same, but hoping it will be better. 1 week later, I am on the same terrace, same place, same chair, but everything feels different, lighter, as if a huge weight had been lifted from my shoulders. Thomas arrives with 2 cups of coffee, gives me one, sits beside me. Good morning, Dad, I smile. Good morning, son. We drink coffee in silence for a moment, enjoying the sun, the sound of the waves, the peace. Finally, Thomas speaks. Sarah divorced Michael. The papers were filed 3 days ago. The lawyers are fixing everything. The properties are already returned to her name. The loans are being canceled. Mark is taking care of everything. I nod. And her? How is she? Thomas breathes deep. Destroyed. She hasn't left her room in days. Just cries and writes. She is writing letters. For you, for me, for Mom. But she doesn't send them. Just writes them. Pause. I think she finally opened her eyes, Dad. I think she finally understood. I look at my coffee. I hope so, son. I hope so. I hear steps. I turn. It is Lucy. She walks slowly towards us. Looks older than a week ago, more mature, as if she had grown years in days. She sits in the chair on the other side, looks at me with those big eyes she inherited from Grace. Grandpa? Her voice is soft, cautious. Mom wants to see you. I feel my chest tighten. Is she ready? Lucy nods. I think so. She has been cleaning her room, organizing her things. She says she needs to start over, that she needs to be different, but that she cannot do it without talking to you first. Thomas looks at me. Give her a chance, Dad. For Mom, for Lucy, for yourself. I look at my granddaughter. I see the tears in her eyes. I see the hope, and I cannot deny her that. All right, I say finally. Let her come. Lucy gets up fast, hugs me. Thank you, Grandpa. She runs off. Thomas squeezes my shoulder. It is going to be okay, Dad. Whatever happens, it is going to be okay. I nod, but inside, I am terrified. 10 minutes later, I see her, Sarah, walking slowly across the terrace towards us. She looks different. No makeup, simple hair, casual clothes, none of the elegance she always wore. She looks small, vulnerable, human. She reaches where I am, stands in front of me, says nothing, just looks at me, and I look at her too. I see the girl she was, the girl I carried in my arms, the girl who told me, I love you, Daddy, before sleeping. But I also see the woman who called me mediocre, who excluded me, who laughed when Michael humiliated me, and I do not know. I do not know what to feel. Finally she speaks. Her voice comes out broken, hoarse from crying so much. Can I sit? I nod. She sits, slowly, as if she were afraid of breaking something. Thomas gets up. I'll let you talk. He leaves. We stay alone, Sarah and I, father and daughter, but feeling like strangers. The silence extends, long, uncomfortable. Finally, Sarah speaks. I have no excuse, she says. Tears start rolling down her cheeks, but she does not wipe them. just lets them fall. I was cruel. I was ambitious. I was everything Mom feared I would be and worse. She wipes her nose with the back of her hand. I spent my whole life believing I was worth what I had, how I looked, who I married, what people thought of me, and I lost the only thing that really mattered. She looked straight into my eyes. I lost my mom, my brother, my daughter, and you, Dad. I lost you, the man who raised me, who loved me, who was always there, and I called you mediocre. I excluded you. I laughed when Michael humiliated you. Her sobs get stronger. How could I do that? How could I be so blind, so cruel? I listen without interrupting, because this is what she needed. She needed to say it, to recognize it, to understand it. Sarah continues. The words come out now like a torrent, as if she had kept them for days and finally could release them. When I saw that video, when I saw myself saying those things about you, I felt like I was dying, because that was not me. Or yes, it was me, but not the person I want to be, not the person Mom raised, not the daughter you deserve. She wipes her tears with trembling hands. And Michael? God, Dad, I thought he loved me. I thought we were building a life together. But he just used me, manipulated me. And I was so stupid I believed everything. I signed everything he put in front of me, trusting, believing. Pause. Breathes deep. But I cannot blame it only on him, because I was already like that before meeting him. I was already ambitious, already cold, already stepped on people. Michael just made me worse. Finally, she looks at me. I do not ask you to forgive me. I do not deserve your forgiveness. I just want you to know I am sorry. I am sorry with every fiber of my being. I breathe deep, look at the sea, the waves, the sky. I think of Grace, of what she would tell me, of what she would want me to do. Finally, I speak. Sarah, I already forgave you. She opens her eyes, surprised. Days ago, when I made the decision to reveal everything, I had already forgiven you. Because that is what your mom asked me. Take care of Sarah. Even if she does not deserve it, take care of her. And that is what I am doing, taking care of you in my way. I look straight at her. But forgiving does not mean forgetting, Sarah. It does not mean everything goes back to how it was before. It does not mean I trust you. Because trust is built, and you destroyed it. Completely. She nods. More tears. I know, Dad, I continue. And forgiving does not mean there are no consequences either. Because there are. Many. I lean forward. You are going to work, Sarah, not in my hotels. Not in some comfortable position, I get you. You are going to work in something normal, something where you have to earn every dollar, where you learn what it is to sweat, get tired, value work. Sarah looks at me without protesting, without complaining, just nodding. Yes, Dad, whatever you say, I continue. You're going to learn to treat people with respect. The waiters, the receptionists, the cleaners, everyone, because they are as valuable as you. More, even, because they know what it is to work honestly. Pause. And you are going to therapy. You are going to talk to someone. You are going to understand why you are like that, why you value the wrong things, and you are going to work on changing that. Sarah nods at every word, as if she were taking mental notes. And if in a year, I say slowly, if in a year I see you changed for real, that it is not just words, that it is not just because you want my money or my approval, but because you really changed, then we will talk. We will talk about rebuilding our relationship. We will talk about being father and daughter again, but not before. Sarah gets up, walks towards me, kneels in front of my chair, takes my hands. Thank you, Dad. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am not going to waste it. I promise you. I squeeze her hands. Promises are easy, Sarah. The hard part is keeping them. She nods, gets up, wipes her tears. I'm going to prove it to you. Every day, for the rest of my life. She turns to leave, but stops, turns again. Dad, can I... She does not finish the question, but I understand. I nod. She walks towards me, hugs me. It is a trembling hug, full of tears, full of regret. And for the first time in years, for the first time, I hug her back, not like before, not with the same confidence, but with hope. With the hope that maybe my daughter can return, the real one, the one Grace dreamed of. We separate. She wipes her eyes. I love you, Dad, she says softly. I nod. And I love you, daughter. I've always loved you. That is why I'm doing this. She smiles. A sad smile, but genuine. She leaves, walking slowly, as if she carried the weight of the world, and maybe she does carry it. But now it is her weight to carry, her lesson to learn. I stay alone on the terrace. Thomas appears 5 minutes later, sits beside me. How was it? I breathe deep. Good, I think. She seems sincere. But only time will tell. Thomas nods. Mom would be proud of you, Dad, of how you handled all this, of how you protected Sarah, even from herself. I look at the horizon. I think of Grace, of her smile, of her hands, of her voice. I did it, love, I say softly, knowing that in some way she hears me. I taught her the lesson. I showed her the truth. Now it depends on her. Depends on if she wants to change, if she wants to be better, if she wants to honor your memory. I feel a soft breeze, warm, like a hug, and I know Grace is here, that she saw everything, and that she is in peace. Lucy appears running, jumps into my lap. Everything okay, Grandpa? I kiss her forehead. Everything okay, my child. Everything okay. 3 days later, I receive a call. It is Sarah. Dad, I got a job in a coffee shop near the house. I start tomorrow. I hear pride in her voice, not for the job itself, but for having gotten it alone. Well done, daughter, I say, and I mean it. 1 week later, another call. Dad, I started therapy, twice a week. It is hard, but I'm doing it. I smile. Keep it up. 1 month later. Lucy comes to the hotel, tells me, Mom is different, Grandpa. She comes home tired from work, but she smiles more, asks how my day was, cooks with me, like before, like when Grandma was alive. And I feel something in my chest, something warm. Hope. 2 months later, Thomas visits me. Sarah called me, wanted to apologize for how she treated me, for the university thing, for everything. We talked for 3 hours, Dad, and for the first time in years, I felt I was talking to my sister, with the real one. And I know the change is real, slow, painful, but real. 6 months later, I am on the terrace, my favorite place. Sarah arrives, tired from work, with the coffee shop uniform, but smiling. She sits beside me. Hi, Dad. I smile. Hi, daughter. We drink coffee together, in silence. A comfortable silence. Not like before, not forced, but natural. After a while, she speaks. Thank you, Dad, for not letting me fall, for teaching me, for loving me even when I did not deserve it. I take her hand. I have always loved you, Sarah, and I always will. But now I love you in a different way. I love you seeing the person you are becoming, not the one you were, but the one you can be. She cries, but they are good tears of gratitude, of relief. We stay there. Father and daughter, looking at the sea. And I think sometimes the people we love most are the ones who hurt us most. Not because they are bad, but because they are lost. And sometimes I have to let them fall, so they learn to get up alone. My daughter called me mediocre. She humiliated me. But today she has the opportunity to be free, to be herself, and that is worth more than any hotel. And you? Have you ever been made to feel invisible by the people you loved most? What did you do? Tell me in the comments. If this story touched your heart, leave your like and subscribe. There are new stories every day, real stories, like yours. Thank you for listening to mine. Until the next story.